My mother's hand was cold, but her grip was strong, stronger than it had been in weeks. "Promise me," she said, "the box under my bed. Don't open it until after the funeral. Promise me, Clara." I promised. I would have promised her anything. In that moment, 3 days later, she was gone. My name is Clara. For 31 years, Diane Whitfield was my mother. Not my stepmother, not my adoptive mother. Just Mom, the woman who worked double shifts at the diner so I could take piano lessons. The woman who sat in the front row of every school play, every graduation, every small forgettable moment that felt enormous because she was there. We didn't have much, but we had each other. And growing up, that felt like more than enough. Looking back now, there were things I should have noticed. A photograph in her drawer of a baby that wasn't me. She said it was a cousin's child. A birthday she'd mark quietly, every March. Alone, never explaining why. A hospital bracelet she kept in her jewelry box, yellowed with age. A name on it that wasn't hers, and wasn't mine. I never asked. Some things, you just don't ask. You let your mother have her quiet moments. My mother didn't have a large family, so the funeral was small, or so I thought. A few co-workers from the diner, our neighbor, Mrs. Alvarez, who'd known us for 20 years, me, standing alone at the front, saying goodbye to the only parent I'd ever known. I kept my promise for exactly 4 days. Then I couldn't wait any longer. The box was small, wooden, the kind you'd keep on a dresser. Inside were 3 things. A folded document, official, formal. An adoption record dated the year I was born. A photograph of a young woman, maybe 20 years old, holding a newborn. The woman in the photo had my eyes. Exactly my eyes. And the letter, in my mother's handwriting, addressed simply, "For Clara, when you're ready." I sat on the floor of her bedroom, and I read it twice before I understood. My mother, Diane, wasn't my biological mother. She was my aunt. Her younger sister, Marianne, had died giving birth to me, 19 years old, no husband, no family support, and a newborn with nowhere to go. Diane was 23. She had just started her own life, and she gave all of it up, without a single complaint, for 31 years, to raise her sister's daughter as her own. I read that sentence 3 times and something in my chest went cold. 31 years. Every birthday, every I love you. Every story she'd told me about my birth. Stories I now realized might not even be true. I stood in that bedroom and felt like a stranger in my own history. Like the floor of my identity had a trapdoor in it. I was afraid that if you knew, you'd stop calling me Mom. I wasn't lying to you, Clara. I was protecting the one thing that mattered most to me. Us. I threw the letter across the room. It felt like an excuse for 31 years of silence. I wanted the years back. The chance to have chosen whether this truth mattered, instead of finding out after it was too late to even be angry at her face. For 2 days, I didn't touch the box again. I replayed every memory I had of her, searching for the moment she must have almost told me and didn't. At the bottom of the letter was a phone number. My mother had written. Marianne had a sister on her father's side. Her name is Rose. She's been looking for you for 20 years. I was too afraid to let her find you. I'm sorry. Call her. I stared at that number for 3 more days. Calling it felt like betrayal in the other direction. Choosing strangers over the woman who raised me, weeks after burying her. And under that, a quieter fear. What if Rose felt more like family than Diane ever had? What would that make me? The daughter who traded her mother's memory for a name on a birth certificate. It was Mrs. Alvarez who pushed me. When I told her everything, she wasn't shocked. I always wondered, she said, but Clara, that woman loved you. Like she built you from scratch. Don't let anything on that phone call take that away from you. That night, My hands were shaking when I finally dialed. A woman answered. When I said my name, there was a long silence. Then, she started crying. Rose had been searching for her biological niece for 2 decades, ever since she learned her half-sister Marianne had died in childbirth, and the baby had been taken in by a relative no one could locate. She'd almost given up. She told me she thought about me every single year, on my birthday, wondering if I was safe, wondering if I was loved. I told her I was. I told her I had been loved my entire life, completely, fiercely, without condition, by a woman who wasn't even required to love me at all. I met Rose 2 weeks later. We talked for 6 hours. She showed me pictures of Marianne, my birth mother, young, smiling, a stranger, and yet somehow familiar in the shape of my own face. Driving home that night, I felt worse, not better. And it still didn't answer the question eating at me. Which of them was I supposed to grieve? Whose daughter was I allowed to say I was? I sat on my kitchen floor at 2 in the morning with every photo I had of Diane spread around me. Birthdays, graduations, the 2 of us at the beach when I was 7, sunburned and laughing. Somewhere in that night, staring at a woman who'd shown up for every version of my life whether or not she had to, the question finally answered itself. I wasn't choosing between 2 mothers. I never had to. One gave me life for 9 months. The other gave me hers, in full, for 31 years, without ever asking for credit. But here's what I understood. Sitting across from a woman who shared my blood, but not my memories, Diane was still my mother. Nothing in that box changed that. Not the paperwork, not the timeline, not the secret she carried alone for 31 years. So I would never have to feel like an obligation instead of a daughter. Family isn't only the people who give you life. Sometimes, it's the person who chooses every single day, for 3 decades, to show up, to stay, to love you when nobody's checking. My mother didn't lie to me. She protected me, even from a truth that might have made me feel like I belonged to no one, when the reality was, I belonged to someone who chose me on purpose. If someone in your life chose you, not because they had to, but because they wanted to tell them today, don't wait for a box under the bed to find out how much they gave up for you. Some people are born into your story. Others write themselves into it, one quiet sacrifice at a time. Both are family. Both are real.
Subscribe for more stories from the edge of reality.